Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, Pavel. It's a pleasure to have you here, to see you after some times. You look wonderful. You're great.
Oh, thank you. So are you. Thank you.
Thank you. So I don't wanna waste your time. That I know that you have many things to do, and so I would like to go directly into our chat. You know, I just gave an introduction on who you are, and so as art advisor and blockchain visionary, tell us what's blockchain? What kind of blockchain do you speak about? Because I think that there are two different kind of understanding blockchain and bitcoins and blockchain technology in general. Can you just give us a little explanation just to let us understand better? Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Pavel. I'm the CEO of Crypto Arts blockchain system. Just like briefly, I can tell you that I've been doing several startups, and one of the most important and major projects that we're doing right now is our blockchain platform for museums, galleries, and people who like generally interested in art. So just to give you a little bit of background, otherwise it's very hard to get into the blockchain like directly like this. So we actually been working several years with my team, and we created some sort of framework that help us to, let's say, to understand what can be perception of culture through technology. Mm-hmm. Because as you know, technology has incredible influence on perception. You can look at the young generation; they completely they have different perception from our generation. When you're talking about culture. So if you're gonna look at the big companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, take any, you will see that they're doing very simple thing. They use data. They use quite basic data related to you personally, like things like where do you go, what do you eat, who's your friends, who are your friends, and they use this data effectively. That's where the economic side coming from. So they're becoming these large corporations based purely on data. So what we discovered through this framework, that if you can use in the same way data related to culture and art objects, you can actually come up with incredible things. Because technology such as blockchain allowed you not only secure a provenance and information, but it's also allowing you to create new marketing tools, new ideas. You know, it's sort of absolutely infinite possibilities. If you're gonna take any of the three major directions that technologies has at this point, artificial intelligence, blockchain, and quantum computing. Take any of that directions and take any of this technology, you'll realize there is so much work you can do with that. It's just because when we talk about museums, because I work mostly with museums, our blockchain platform has several stages. And we are the first stage where we're trying to create a framework and legal ability for our project to work with museums, which takes a lot of time. Museums are quite conservative institutions, and it's time consuming.
Yes, I think
yeah.
I think so that you might find some barriers because I think that the main concern of museum is about transparency, ethics, and maybe copyright. So I think that you've got to deal a lot on this topic to make museum. rely your...
You're absolutely right. And we hired several lawyers who literally working only on that field. So they're trying to link our blockchain system with museums. So it's a very hard work. We got like tons of contracts, but the result is this: like in 1 year, we signed 5 museums officially. So museums are using our platform, and I think it's it's good achievement. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's not a major achievement, but we are moving. Now, regarding technology itself, why is it important? What is it actually? Let's begin from what is actually the blockchain. Blockchain is you can actually find the answer in terminology itself. Blockchain, it's a chain of blocks. So those blocks are existing. Like let's say it's some sort of network which exists. It's decentralized network. It doesn't have any how to say external influence to it. You cannot change information in that block. If you, let's say, we insert information about museum in that block, you cannot change it because this block we multiplying to our network. And if you're gonna change something in one block, instantly all other users and all other museums and communities receive this information that block was changed. So it's a very interesting technology to play around. We done several projects, successful projects based on blockchain, exactly on the blockchain. What we did, we created a platform. So we have our own blockchain dedicated to museums. So museums can upload artworks and experts can participate, and they can learn how this technology works and see like whether they can use it or not, because it's actually up to community to decide like how active they're gonna use our resources, because we created for museums, like not for ourselves, and we are the let's say it's a break point in the history of humanity now, where we're moving towards this like technological singularity, where when you're gonna ask me what is the future and what is the future of blockchain or museum, I don't know. I don't know what even future is, because now we have this very interesting time. I call it neuro quantum culture. That means the point where technology meets culture on the highest level. So that's where we are with this technology. We're trying to explain it. We're trying to teach even museum experts. In my country, in China, we have office in Shanghai. Now we moved to Dubai, because in Dubai, this let's say new upcoming museum community and community of experts in museums, they're more open to listen, let's say, listen about experimental technologies than, let's say, Russia or Italy or France. It's more conservative community. I understand that. So we kind of mostly work in China and Gulf countries. That is our, let's say, geographical vision. Yeah. Because they're just more open. They're more open to these technologies. They're ready to experiment. China creates, every year, they create 400, 500 museums. It's a great resource for us because we can experiment. We can install our technology and create network. Even 500 museums, it's enough for us to test technology on a global scale. Now it's only 5 museums we have. So we wanna encourage museum community to join our platform. It's.
Can you tell us what's the main advantage that a museum can gain by joining a blockchain platform?
Yes, the main advantage that museum by participating and using this technology, creating some sort of additional layer of communication. And it's not just the internet. Okay, I'll give you a historical example. When internet came out, a lot of directors of museums, they didn't want to use internet. They said, we're never going to put our museum on a website. Never going to happen. No. So now I don't even know any museum that doesn't have a website. So the same thing with blockchain. It's not an internet, it's technology. We need to learn more about that. And the biggest advantage that it gives us, it can help us to create new level of communication, new community. It can speed up a lot of things. It can protect data. That is the major maybe point, to protect data that museum been collecting through the years. So in some way, by saving this data, it gives us chance in a new digital world to find a special place for culture. You know what I mean? Because look at the financial sector. Every bank, every major bank in the world has a department that develops blockchain technologies. And financial sector always been influencing culture a lot. So culture is the next. I mean, in which form and how it's going to be developed, I don't know. But we are experimenting, trying to find solutions. And when you talk about valuable art pieces or valuable information, there is no better technology than blockchain in the world, and maybe not will be in the next few years, to preserve and save information and art pieces itself, like art pieces in the form that they exist right now. Because as you can see, internet is quite violent place. There are a lot of manipulations going on. And personally, for me, this is maybe the most important advantage, just to get it into that system and save it for future generations. Yes. And use it. Use this data, like link it to marketing ideas, link it to special exhibitions. I mean, like we can explore it more when we have bigger system. Because now we just work with 5-6 museums. It's very hard. It should be wider.
Yes, but talking about this possibility that blockchain gives to make exhibition, you have made 15 exhibition art blockchain. What does it mean? How did you make it?
When we started, we made it very simple. So what we did, we just used blockchain for provenance and for all aspects of the art piece. So for example, you have a painting, you have a history of the painting, you have publicity, you have provenance, you have different aspects and information about the art piece. So what we did, we, let's say, I would use word, downloaded that to the blockchain, and we had experts, independent experts from different countries, identifying that this information is correct. Then it gives us legitimate possibility to actually put it in the system. So it's actually legalized by museum, this information that we use. And every piece of art that we use in exhibition were downloaded to that system. And also we use it for marketing, we use it for like accessibility. We use different technologies based on blockchain, like VR stuff and different kind of experiments to see whether we can use it not only as a storage, you know, because you know, museums themselves, every museum has a, like, you know, archive. We don't need to create next archive. So we try to make it as alive as possible, communicative, because art becoming alive, and let's say when you put it in the blockchain, it becomes immortal. Yeah. So we create immortality for art pieces, which is an incredible thing to do. You can't change it. You can't change it. Whatever you can't even you can't steal it from exhibition, because if you're gonna run away with the painting, it doesn't make any sense, because information about that already in the system. It's like, you know, it's defined by community, and it doesn't make sense to do any how to say, manipulation with information or with the art piece. It just doesn't make sense. So from that perspective, it's also very interesting and secure.
Yes, and what do you think about, this COVID has created a lot of problems to museums. First of all, accessibility. The second will be the making of exhibition and traveling exhibitions, because maybe there will be problems in transports, in moving, and so. For what I understand, blockchain can help to a certain extent to overcome these problems. But do you think that blockchain can help museums also to develop a new kind of sponsorship, a new kind of relationship with fundraising, for instance?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think these restrictions that we have from the virus actually liberating our ability to think and visualize stuff. So I actually think these restrictions are pushing people to become more open and creative. And in terms of technology, technology will help not only to raise funds for museums, but also it will be entering door to the new digital era where we have artificial intelligence, quantum computing, big data processing. Is going to be like incredible. So we use it as just a doorway and just an entering point to the big digital future. So when we talk about fundraising, I will tell you from my example that by working with this platform, it became much easier to raise funds for us, much easier. On our example. And ourselves, as you know, we became supporters of several museums.
Yes.
Just because of that. So the point is here, whether we're going to decide to learn it, study it, experiment, or we're just going to ignore it and wait for the technology to become so popular that we to the point that we cannot ignore it.
Yes.
So that's how it was.
Is it easy for a museum to enter in your community and so to start to use your blockchain platform?
We try to make it as easy as possible. So we just need to discuss with museum on a legal basis, how do they see it? Because different countries, different jurisdictions. We sign a partnership contract, we're showing them technology, we send an expert to explain to museum workers like how it's going to be done. And he's literally showing them how it's going to be done and what they need to do in order to install this technology to a museum. And very easy, it takes like 2-3 days maximum. Yeah. And museum can decide what kind of artworks they would like to upload. But I'm suggesting usually to upload major pieces, the most significant ones. Let's say we select 10 to 20 pieces and we start from that. So everyone is learning, adjusting, and seeing how museum can benefit. So when they decide what art pieces they want to contribute, we actually create a strategy for them. So we give them vision. They don't need to think like, what the hell we're going to do with that all? No. We give them strategy. We give them vision for a year or 2 years. Like we're giving them perspective, how they can benefit financially, marketing-wise. I don't know, like just like from any angle, we're just giving them perspective. It's a project. So they start to work with us. Because, as you know, the museum where we met, we've been working with them over a year. On the basis of our technology, and we end up of doing big exhibition in St. Petersburg based on technology, and in Beijing. Incredible! It was incredibly successful. It's not just about technology; it's about discovering new audience. Because people who is in IT, they becoming interesting. The people who never came to museums before, they try to discover what is it going on, what sort of technology is that. We have programmers start to come to see exhibitions. It's a completely new layer of people.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. I have a question for you. Maybe we already touched this, but I think it's one of the most one of the biggest concern for museum people. Can blockchain help professionals to safeguard fake art and copyright? I mean,
yeah.
Can it be some sort of tracking to say what is it fake from real, authentic, and so it can help not to create a market of art, of fake art. I don't.
Yes, that's yeah. We already touched that, so that's what I said. It's the most advanced technology at the moment that helps to move away all the fraud and speculation on the market. And I will tell you, I'll be honest with you, the most interesting people for us at the moment, and people who coming to us and asking us to use the technology, is the private collectors. Because they think in advance, they understand. If they're not going to digitalize their private collections, there's going to be less and less chance that they can effectively make these collections alive in the future. You know. So what we make, we not only secure provenance and information about art piece for experts, but what is interesting, it's not just like. It's not like a one expert defining what is right and wrong. What is good about this technology? It's decentralized. There is no like a main people, less important people. It's like a network of experts deciding what is correct and what is not correct. When they decided that this information is acceptable and correct, that's it. It's done. So it's becoming immortal. You can't change it. Never. No, even president cannot change it. It's done.
Yeah.
So in this case, experts becoming more powerful people in the world than anyone else. Because
perfect.
Yeah. In terms of like
Yes.
In terms of growth, you know.
Thank you very much, because at this point you made me understand what Internet of People means. I think that's exactly what
it's network, it's community. Yeah. We work together. We want to work with you, and we expect you to contribute, because the more data we have, the more possibilities we can create for experts, for museums, for like it's a very interesting moment where museums don't really know whether they want to go for it or not, and people who like programmers and blockchain visionaries, they also like in their own community. So this is the moment in time where it should be integrated and adjust, and that's where we have like we're gonna have incredible time. In regarding we're just gonna have a completely new world.
Yes, and so, but since we will leave these chat of ours on our channel, so our follower can join us even when we are not online anymore, I would like to know, I would like you to explain a little bit more further how it happens, how it happens. So you take you make an agreement with the museum, you check all the legal part, you send there someone who can record and collect the data. And then what happens? What the museum has to do?
Okay, museum doesn't have to do anything. Museum have to sign a partnership with us and see maybe, they need to take time just to see what idea we have in order to promote this contribution. Because they contribute their time, they contribute, space for us to install our technology. You know, they do that. So we wanna thank them, and we create a program for development through this technology. So we show them how they can benefit by doing that. This is first step. So legal-wise, we discussed, and the third step, we come up with some sort of. So okay, let's say they got a collection that they want to promote through the blockchain. They wanna work with us. So we're giving them space in our blockchain. We're giving them like a segment. We create a profile of museum in that technology. It's all coding. It's a very difficult thing to do. And they start to upload. We select maybe 2-3 experts for that. So they need to give me experts, because otherwise I cannot legalize things that I'm downloading. So they need to give me experts. So everything happening online. It doesn't take much time. We're doing all the job. They just need to approve stuff that they downloaded. They need to make an agreement, and they need to follow and see how it's going to be developed, because it's going to be in a system. In the same way, several years ago, museums uploaded high-resolution images to the internet. The same way. But this is not it, because we not just uploading something to somewhere, we actually creating new environment where not only the work is going to be stored, but also communication tools, marketing tools are like within this technology. It's all like interconnected, and plus we create an economic zone for that museum. So museum becoming its own economy. It's incredible. Look at the I don't know, Bitcoin. Yeah. So let's just come back to the Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a currency, blockchain technology. When it's connected, it creates huge economic, let's say, value. Yeah. So that's what we do. We create economic system and marketing system for museum to operate in this new digital world, because maybe they not even understand what's happening, why they have so much followers from that country or that country. We create that all. We trying to speed up the evolution of this collection in a new era, because you probably know there is a theory of technological singularity where culture is kind of like, you know, culture has its own evolution, and it's much slower than technology. So what we're trying to do, we're kind of speeding up through technology development of that particular asset, which is culture, not culture, collection. So then when we have culture and technology going together in parallel, we create infinite possibility for that. Infinite. It's just like it's unimaginable what we can do.
I have the last question for you. They asked me, but then if I use your platform, does it speak with other blockchain platforms?
No.
Okay.
It's we hired 15 programmers who's doing different parts of the code, and now this code is unified and united. So this is like a platform. No, you don't need other blockchains. It doesn't make any sense. That is just unified platform for everyone to use, and especially developed for museums. I mean, why would you need other platform if you have this one? I don't know. I understand. Okay, Christina, I understand there are several, maybe like hundreds of projects based on blockchain. But the problem is not all of them understand specific of museums, collecting of artworks, as you said, like a private information about that, legal side of that. It's just like none. I don't see any projects like that. So we are expert in culture and culture development and high-tech projects for culture. We know what we're doing. We spend all our life, to do that. So we understand what we want. We created this framework over 15 years. We know what we what we are doing, you know.
Yes, yes.
When we met, look, I'll tell you two more things. When we met Chinese government, they told us if this project will be released in China, we are talking. We have office in Shanghai, but we are negotiating idea of doing this project to launch it in China. They said the GDP of China will rise if it's launched in the right, correct way, because museums and data that museums collected over the years, for me, has same value as gold or oil or gas, complete, maybe higher, because that data defines human nature in a digital environment. It's incredible. It's incredible asset, which we, you know, yeah, we had museums, we've been collecting different art pieces, but technology gives us possibility to look at that from different perspective. That's what I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes.
And one more thing, if you want, my favorite quote from Napoleon Bonaparte. Mm-hmm. He said, "The true wealth and success is not when you have a lot of treasures, but it's actually how you use those treasures." So the same thing can be applied to museums and collections. If we know how to use this data and treasures effectively through technology, we create enormous assets for the country on the federal level. Yes. I'm not talking about small things. It could be.
Yes, Pavel, I'm full of questions. Now, Danuta is one of our most affectionate follower, and so I cannot skip her question. She asked two things. The first one, I think that we've got to go on an email, but I will ask you anyway. What's the cost for a private collector to enter your platform? And what about privacy? Privacy,
yeah. Very simple. There is no cost to enter and use our technology. It just depends on what sort of collection he has. Because if it's big amount of work, it should be some cost applied, because we need to hire experts to identify all of that and actually to approve it. You know, otherwise, like, it's going to be hard. I cannot have a collector who's coming and bringing art from garage. No, it doesn't work. So I need to be responsible, and I think it's going to be it's going to be diversified. And any collector in the world can do it spontaneously within maybe next year. But at the moment, we have a team who's actually defining what collections he wanna, contribute or download. Then we see what he wants to do with that. He wanna just archive it and like fix it in the blockchain, or he wants to increase the price of collection. That is completely two different aims. Or he wants maybe, to have an independent opinion from museum experts. I don't know what he wants. It depends, if you want to just archive it, it's free. We don't charge for it. It's just like, anyone can use this. Anyone can use it. It's free. It's for the people. It's for community. I just want more contribution and more response from let's say, higher level of experts, because I understand they're quite conservative, but it's a great tool. It's a great tool to use.
Yes. And what about privacy then?
Privacy. There are two. There are two types of, let's say, two functions. He can literally switch privacy on or turn it off. So if it's off, everyone can see it. The whole network can see it, and it's absolutely free for everyone. If he want to if he want to do it only for himself, to keep a record in the system, he just turn the button on, and that's it. No one see it. System identified it as a private information, and he has his own blocks. That's it. So it's stored for him.
Well, perfect. So
very simple.
Yes, I'm very fascinating, you know, about that. I think that we will stay in touch about the development of this blockchain in Italy, because I believe a lot into this technology. And I thank you for all the time that you dedicated us and for what you are doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Christina. Thanks for inviting me. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, limited time. Yeah, I can talk, 24 hours a day about.
I could stay here longer, but I told you 15 minutes and we were already beyond half an hour. So thank you again.
Thank you very much.
We will stay in touch, definitely. Goodbye.
Wonderful.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.